Selena Gomez, I remember her fingers were bleeding because her iPhone was cracked.
Oh, no.
And I said, I live by the Grove by Apple Store. She goes, no, I'm saving money. I'm going to Aruba.
Aruba?
Yeah, she was going. And so I'm going, this is Selena Gomez, and she doesn't want to fix her iPhone.
Yeah.
And she was so down to earth where, okay, all right, I'm going to tell a story about you. So this was very exciting. So I remember I'm just standing there, the weird middle-aged guy, and on the breaks, you would so I'd see her iPhone light up. You see Justin, and you're going, don't answer it. Guys play games. And I'm going, this is Justin Bieber. And you're giving advice, and I'm eavesdropping. And then she left the phone there, and you see it light up, Justin, I want to answer. Hi, could I say talk to Justin Bieber? So it was she, for someone in that world, you're just giving casual guy advice when it's Justin F. and Bieber.
Yeah, but it's interesting, Fred, because to Jennifer and to Selena, Justin was another guy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he was Justin Bieber or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
at the time he was torpedoing me. I was like, get out of here.
But for their
Yes.
for their pool, their thing, it was like someone in high school.
Yes.
You're with a friend. It's like, oh, Bobby's calling you. Don't answer because he's a guy. Whatever.
Well, I joke all the time. It was like Disney High because it was. It was all of our high school.
Yes.
Yes.
And you had the popular kids and the less popular kids,
All of
and
them.
everybody dated everybody, and yeah.
So all the anxiety I had other shows, if you flub a line, those showrunners, it was so casual. I didn't feel any pressure.
Yeah. No.
Even the stand-ins, there was a stand-in, I forgot his name, kind of a...
Dennis?
He was, not chubby, but he kind of was shy, but he would do an impression of me.
I know, yeah.
Yes. So Selena taught me how to do the Dougie. She took me aside. I had to glean and brush. So here's Selena Gomez teaching me to do the Dougie, and all of them.
That's so funny how Selena Gomez at the time, because when we shot the first season, we were in the dark. We hadn't been on TV yet. So no one on set had gotten that we're famous people now.
But she didn't act
that way.
He was on season 4, so that was the very end.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying she was a superstar, but was so we did one scene in the elevator, and she's going, I can't stop laughing. I just look at him. He's so funny, and it was so much like high school. I actually. Again, I'm so bad with names.
Okay.
Well, you've said 1,000 names,
but
already.
She's. I worked with her a few other times. She was the AD, and
I think which one?
She's very sweet. But
while you're thinking, I'm going to say this. There's a great blooper where Selena and Jennifer are crossing to their apartment. And something about, I don't...
But she's like, how are we going to afford this apartment if I don't have any fucking money?
Right.
And then they bleep it out. It's pretty funny.
That's so funny.
What was that? Yeah, with the... so after it was over, everyone's friending me from the crew, and then I get this weird thing... Hey, Fred, it's Selena, wink, wink, that she friended me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like a little family.
And it was new, too. The Twitter had started already, which was like the first time. I know that I did KTLA. It was like a panel of 4 people, and people were like, Twitter, 140 characters. Like, what is that? Oh, I'm going on a walk, or I'm going to the bathroom. And I was like, I said the girl on my show has 100,000.
I did something pathetic.
But 100,000 followers,
which at the time was huge. Now she's got like 480 million or something.
But 100,000 at the time opened their eyes, and I was like, she can tell 100,000 people in a nanosecond that she's got a song coming out or a book or whatever, and they all kind of were like, oh yeah, this is
how pathetic I am. When I was on Wizards, Twitter was new, and I said to David Henry, again, all down to earth, I said, can you do me a favor? He goes, what? He goes, can you mention me on Twitter?
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. So I asked David Henry to try to get Twitter followers,
That's amazing. It's funny you say that because my dad had passed away and someone was pretending to be, I was like, I'm not going to do this kid social media thing. I don't need that.
That's what I said about Instagram.
But then someone was pretending to be me and talking as if it was me about my dad. And I was like, this is not okay. So I created an account and my name was taken. So David Henry helped me set up an account, and it's capital D_DeLuise is my Twitter handle or whatever. And he helped me do that. And then all the kids, were like, because there was no blue check, there was no way to,
yes.
So the fact that they, kind of interacted with that account was helpful, So a quick question. What was the difference when you were working on Seinfeld and doing that like grown-up sitcom stuff to the kids' shows?
Well, first of all, one of the things I love about animation and kid shows, even though Seinfeld obviously has amazing cachet, the best times I've had when there's no self-importance. When you're going, this is a stupid show, it's silly, but whenever,
you take the weight off it. You take the weight off of it.
Right. Even a show like Jesse, we worked together.
Which was the Christina Applegate show that I did with George Zunza, which was on after Friends and before Frasier.
Yes. So I did 4 episodes of that, and Christina is a sweetheart. And
the best.
Yes. So, but even that, it had did that have the writing staff from Friends? It's still,
Peter Marietta and his partner were 2 of the writers on.
Okay, maybe I think
and it was Bright Kaufman Crane who produced Friends.
So it still had that. The writers had to run through with their arms folded and checking, and it still had that. Oh no,
tense.
This is a sitcom, a network sitcom.
High expectations.
Raymond was amazing to be on Everybody Loves Raymond, but it's had this thing like we are the writers and we walk on the set and all right, I hope I said the right thing. So I love kid shows, even though it doesn't have the cachet that it's just we're not doing, a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's, you know what I mean?
There's a sense of play.
But what's interesting? Yes. I mean, we put that on there, right? We make that happen. And yes, the energy is different on the set of like a Seinfeld or a Raymond to a kid show. But we put that there.
Yes.
And wouldn't it be nice to function in a high place like that and be okay with it?
I think there are some shows that do that.
Yeah, I think it's that top-down mentality, right? It's like whoever is at the top sets the tone for the
entire show. I'm bad with names. Peter left when I was doing it. Who was the showrunner? Very sweet guy.
Ben and Vinny.
Ben and Vinny, but there was another guy.
Todd Greenwald?
Yes. So they just had an easy vibe where they treated me, they were very glad to have me.
Yeah.
And
it felt good. Listen, it feels nice when people want you to be there.
Yes.
And you're not having to prove, and you don't have to prove yourself.
And I already was going to be there 4 episodes. And
you felt a little more comfortable. You weren't walking on eggshells as much.
Yeah, exactly.
Fred, I have to ask you this question.
Sure.
When you were in the writer's room with Jerry Seinfeld and
Larry
David, and what was that like? Okay, so a lot of times people will say a comedian, a stand-up comic, this is how they laugh. You hear a joke and they go, funny or not.
Yeah.
Was there laughing? Was there camaraderie? Were there ideas? I mean, how the fuck did you sit there and go, all right, hey Seinfeld, this is my idea. This is like, what was that like?
Well, it was different than any sitcom writing staff in that many things have what's called a table where the first day of the season they pound out, let's do a thing where George and this and that, and they do.
You break stories.
You break stories together, which could be harrowing because it's. My friend said it was like a game show buzzing. Or someone, if he's a little more low key, he'll say, how about Jerry does that? And no one hears and it goes, how about Jerry does that? Yeah!
That's a very Mel Brooks thing. Because I was on the set of Robin Hood Men in Tights because I did one part and someone said something and Mel actually, I think, said, no. And then 2 minutes later, he was like, I got it. And he said the same thing. Yeah. I mean, there's a collective.
Well, you got to be loud and aggressive. And so with Seinfeld, it's the opposite where the way I describe it, it's like you're solving homicides, but your own murders. You're in your own room and no one helps each other out. Everyone's trying to come up with a Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer story. So, all right, the first day, all right, Fred, that's your office. That's my Larry David impression. All right,
that's how he talks?
Yeah. You come out, you find me when you got a story. And that was my first staff sitcom job.
Wait a minute. How does that happen? Do you write a spec script? Is writing an episode for a show that you're not involved with yet? And you give it to
what
them,
happened
right?
is I never had the dream to be on staff. Well, that's... the ones, the comics from my days who were not the funniest, but they went to sitcom writing staff are the richest. But there's one guy I always mention, Mike Rowe, who he watched the Dick Van Dyke Show and dreamed of being around a table. I never had that dream. So basically you did what was called write a spec script to show your writing ability to try to get staffed. I just wanted to be a character actor.
But how did you get your spec script to Seinfeld?
So I was at a friend's surprise birthday party, and it was a lot of comics from the 80s, right? And so Larry David comes in later. I don't want to have to scream surprise like an idiot. Again, it's bad, Larry David.
Always late to a surprise party.
Yeah. I'm not going to scream surprise. You'd let me know when to come. I don't want to do that.
That's an episode.
Yeah. So he comes in, and everyone was going up to him. Did you read my spec script? Hoping Larry would use it. Yeah. So he was already kind of not being a bully, but going, how come you know you'll never get laid? When's the last time you got laid? No one's going to want you. You're too pathetic.
Is this him talking to you?
Yes. Oh. He goes, you're a loser. You're doomed. You're a Jew from Brooklyn. And so he kind of, whatever. And so then he said, how come you never wrote a spec script? And I go, I don't. Well, why write something, just to show you a sample? He goes, we'll write one. Nothing will happen, but I will read it.
I love that.